weather, air, and water. In today's module, we are going to learn and explain the importance of the sun in relation to weather, discuss sea breeze and land breeze, define evaporation and condensation, explain water cycle, identify various types of precipitation, describe the steps involved in water purification, and explain the importance of conserving water. So let's start.
Evaporation. Sonu came back soaked from school. She hung her uniform. Later that evening, she saw that the uniform was dry, without a trace of water on it. Little Sonu wondered, where did the water in the uniform vanish? On her way to school the next morning, Sonu noticed that the puddles on the road had dried up. Ah! The water has vanished again, thought Sonu. The vanishing of water from the surroundings left little Sonu confused. Come, let's help her understand the science behind how water seems to have disappeared from the surroundings. At the end of this module, you will be able to define the terms evaporation and condensation, explain the factors controlling evaporation. Water from the puddle and water from the uniform did not disappear. It simply changed from a liquid form into a gas form. This happened due to the heat in the surroundings. The process of a liquid changing into a gas is called evaporation. Water evaporates from the surroundings all the time. The major source of heat for this is the sun's rays. Depending on the temperature of the surroundings, the process is slow or fast. Apart from the sun's heat, wind is also necessary to dry clothes. The sun's heat changes water into water vapor. If there is no wind, water vapor will remain around the clothes and evaporation will slow down or stop. If the water vapor is moved away by wind, more water from the clothes can evaporate and the clothes will dry sooner. So evaporation is faster on a windy day. Clothes which have been spread out dry faster as a greater surface is exposed to air. Clothes will dry faster on a hot sunny day as the sun's rays provide heat required for evaporation. Air contains moisture. This is referred to as humidity. On a dry day, the humidity is less. So clothes dry faster as the dry air can carry with it the moisture from the clothes. However, on a rainy day, the air is already full of water vapor and cannot absorb much moisture from clothes. From our observations, we can conclude that the factors controlling evaporation are wind, surface area of exposure, temperature of the surroundings, moisture in air. Have you ever wondered what happens to water once it evaporates and changes into water vapor? Let's find the answer to this by conducting a simple activity. Keep a kettle filled with water on a stove to boil. As water begins to boil, steam comes out through the nose of the kettle. Hold a cold plate in the path of the steam. What do you observe? You can see tiny droplets of water being formed at the point where the steam touches the cold surface of the plate. This happens as the hot steam cools down and changes back into the water. This process is called condensation. Take a piece of cotton and dip it in some nail polish remover. Now rub the cotton on your arm. How does it feel? The part of the arm rubbed with the liquid feels cold. What do you think is the reason? This happens as the liquid uses the heat from the skin to evaporate.
The water cycle in nature. The circulation of water from the surface of the earth to the atmosphere and back to the earth is called the water cycle. Water evaporates continuously from the surface of seas, rivers, lakes, oceans. Also, the transpired water from plants continuously evaporates into the atmosphere due to the heat of the sun. Water vapor, being lighter, rises upwards and joins the clouds in the sky. The clouds are carried in the air through long distances. Water vapor in the rain clouds, when cooled sufficiently, condenses into water droplets, which come down as rain, snow, or hail. The rainwater finds its way back into the rivers and seas, thereby completing the water cycle. This circulation of water from the surface of the earth to the atmosphere and back to the earth is called the water cycle. Through the water cycle, nature maintains the balance of water on the earth and constantly purifies it.
Put the filter paper into a cone and place it inside a glass funnel. Moisten the filter paper with distilled water. Take a stand and fix the funnel on the stand. Place a conical flask at the bottom of the funnel. Take the beaker containing the mixture of chalk and water and filter it through the funnel. The water passes through the filter paper and collects in the flask below, and the chalk remains in the funnel. The water obtained after filtration is known as filtrate. The chalk settled in the funnel is called the residue. Filtration is a method of separating an insoluble solid and a liquid.
Water has its uses for various reasons. We cannot live without water even for a single day. We use water for drinking, bathing, washing, flushing toilet, gardening, farming, cooking, cleaning, and cooling, apart from generating electricity, brushing, and construction purposes. Thus, we cannot afford to waste water. This is what you should do to use water economically. Do not keep the tap running when you brush your teeth or scrub your hands with soap. Use water can for watering plants and a bucket for washing vehicles. Avoid the hose as it sprays more water. Do not flush the toilet completely every time you take a leak. Flushing only a portion of the tank will suffice. Ensure that the taps or water pipes are not leaking. Take a shower instead of using the bathtub, as it tends to use up at least double the volume of water compared to a shower. Also, while taking shower, use short-time showers. Run the washing machine and dishwasher only when there is a full load so that the water is economically utilized. Use a basin to wash fruits and vegetables instead of washing them under running water. Additionally, this leftover water can be used to water plants.